stop staring, be quiet. Look at me, there I go, choking on my silence. And I don't think you want me cause I wanna keep it private. And I don't think you know me if you're not one of my 5 friends. But it's my own fault, I can't give in. I have to go, suck up on the top.
Could I look any more like a hot mess? Probably. But good morning. I'm sitting here with my coffee. I am in this is one of my like hair dye shirts. It's very raggedy. It is what it is. There's Mickey Mouse on it. But I'm currently still filming a vlog. It's kind of been a little bit of a hot mess. But I was like, you know, I could continue doing that, or I could start a new one. So I think I'm going to be filming like 2 vlogs at once. We will see what happens with this, you guys. But today is the first day of Sun's Out, Books Out. It is a readathon. I actually told myself I wasn't going to do any readathons this month. Haven't read a whole lot this month. So I have this readathon, and then I think next weekend is Horrorathon, the 24-hour one by Ashley's Little Library. So, I mean, I can't miss that one. But I thought, you know what? I'm in a good mood today. It is sunny outside. I'm just going to start another vlog. This is going to be a very bookish vlog, you guys. Like, this is really going to just be about books. So I'm sorry if it's boring at times, but I will try to be somewhat exciting, I guess, or keep things short. No promises. But this is hosted by Keisha from A Book Like You. I will also have the other like co-host down below. There is, I can't remember who all off the top of my head right now, but I do know Elizabeth is part of it, and I love her content so much. She is the cutest. And yeah, I don't want to name any more that I think, because I could get it completely wrong, but I will have them linked down below for sure. I think there's actually 1 or 2 new to me people who are co-hosting, so that's really cool. I'm gonna have to go follow and check out their content. But this was a very last minute decision. I literally seen the announcement today. Like, I've known about this, I knew it was coming up for a while. They've been talking about it, but I literally just seen them all posting for the day, because today's post is supposed to be your TBR. I have been really struggling posting on my Instagram, so I'm probably going to keep my photo prompts to my stories, which I'm okay with, but I need to figure out my TBR to be able to do that. So the first prompt, I believe, is, this would be a lot easier if I wasn't filming on my phone right now, but I had to make this quick to get this vlog going, and to figure out my TBR so I could start reading. I believe the first book is a book with like water, I believe, on it. Some type of like water, like whether it's like the ocean or like waves or just something like that. The second prompt is read a beach read, and then the third prompt is read a nostalgic summer read, I believe. So 3 books, not that hard. And like other readathons, you can like to not read 3 because it's 3 days. So if you read a book a day, you can pull it off. But if not, you can, like, let's say one of them is a beach read. It also has water on the cover. There's 2 prompts done with 1 book. And it could also be a nostalgic read, so you can get all 3 prompts done with 1 book. But anyways, since this is so last minute, I am sitting here at my bookcase trying to figure out my TBR. And I might have to get on my apps and go through like audiobooks and stuff like that. I kind of want to look at my TBR and my book clubs for this month and see if there's any that kind of play into it, because it'd be nice to get some of those done while I'm at it. But for prompt number 2, read a beach read, I picked up some more Emily Henry from the library, you guys, and I actually have a beach read. So wouldn't it just be perfect to read beach read for the first time as the beach read prompt? So I think I'm going to do it. I have both of these. I've actually heard better things about People We Meet on Vacation, but I was looking at them because I was like, which one did she come out with first? And she actually came out with Beach Read in 2020, and then People We Meet on Vacation 2021, so I'm excited. It doesn't always happen because of new releases, or because an author has so many books and it's kind of hard to just start at the beginning. But I love reading from an author like in order. I haven't with Emily Henry because I have read, mind is going blank, I've read another one from her, Book Lovers, and then I just read Happy Places, or Happy Place, I think is what it's called. So I was going to film, and I might start it today or sometime this 3 days, but I wanted to start a 3 books by Emily Henry video because I have read those 2, and so I actually just need to read one of these to read 3 books by Emily Henry. I might include the 4th in it, we'll see, but yeah, I'm excited to check this out and see what it's all about. I mean, I feel like her books have worked for me to an extent. I really enjoyed Book Lovers, but Happy Place was kind of a little bit more of a letdown for me. And I think it's also because I just felt like the 2 books, like, the writing style is good, but it was so similar, and then, like, in the same aspects of the book, like, certain portions of the book, I guess you would say, they became kind of slow burn, and she did the same thing in Book Lovers, and then I was like, it's fine, you know, like, keep reading. This is kind of, I feel like it was kind of pointless, but I kept reading for the story, and then she did it with Happy Place too, and it just really put me off with that one, so I'm like, these are kind of, I mean, her books, this is library, so it is a little stained and such, but her books are not that long, like an average romance, 358, but I don't know, there's just something about, like, that, like, once you hit to, like, the 3rd of the book, it just slows down so much, and it just, I don't know, it kind of drove me insane with Happy Place, but I was sitting here trying to look at all my books and see, like, if I had a cover with any type of water on it, and I could not find any. I think the only one I found was a Stephen King book, which is, like, I don't know, like, book 5 maybe of, like, the Dark Tower series, and I'm like, I'm not far enough in it, you guys. So I wish I was, so that I could get that out of the way, but I'm not that far in the series, so I can't read that one. So I've got to keep looking for that one. I'm going to look on my laptop at my TBR and, like, book club picks and stuff like that and see if there's any that I can, like, knock out, even if it's with audiobooks, since I'm kind of late to this. But also, a nostalgic summer read for me is really hard. I cannot think of what to read. I thought, like, maybe doing the next Twilight book, but I'm like, don't want the Twilight book, like, on my TBR for, like, a summer read. So I think I'm gonna hold off there. But I was thinking, like, when I was a teenager, I read a lot of, like, Nicholas Sparks and stuff like that. So I'm like, maybe, but I'm like, I don't really know if I'm in the mood for Nicholas Sparks. And I also don't want, like, this entire TBR to just be, like, romance or, like, sappy love stories. Like, I kind of am still in the mood for, like, horror or thriller. Yeah, and I have some other library picks here too, but none of them have water on them. None of them are, like, nostalgic reads, so I don't know what to do, you guys. I'm gonna try to find some and then come back and update you guys. We'll see. So, still looking cute. I really was trying to narrow down my TBR, you guys, and I was just really having a hard time with it. Like, I went through books that are already on my TBR. Sorry if there's an echo. I don't know why. We literally don't have anything on the walls in here, so that might be why, but since we've been redoing this room, our bedroom. But I am currently getting my steps in on the treadmill. I have been walking every day, and oh my god, it feels so good to just kind of be, like, back in, like, I don't know what to call it, mood of, like, wanting to get, like, things back on track with my life, and feeling better about myself, and yeah, I'm just feeling a lot better and stronger. Today was actually the first day where I woke up and I was, like, just, like, ready to take on the day, and, like, the earliest I've gotten up all week. And kids have just fought all day. I'm like, it can never be, like, perfect. Every other day has been great, but for some reason today, nope. But anyways, I was trying to figure out my TBR, and I'm just getting stressed out with it because I did find some good contenders. But the issue I'm running into is I needed to get on the treadmill because I want to film later, and I'm like, I gotta get on the treadmill so I can shower, get my hair fixed, do all that kind of stuff so that I can film, because I have started 100 days of makeup over on my beauty Instagram. So, gotta be doing more looks. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm just gonna get on the treadmill. And then the more I've been sitting here thinking, I was like, well, I need to start a book, because when I'm on the treadmill, if I'm walking, I just like hold a book and read it. If I do sprints too, which I'm thinking about doing today because I didn't yesterday, I have my AirPods so that I can listen to a book. So, further looking into this readathon, there is a like buddy read. So now I feel like kind of pressured to read it, but at the same time, I've already seen some people DNFing it. So I'm like, but the audiobook is on script. So I think I'm going to start it. What is it? The Summer of Broken Rules or something along those lines. Apparently there is a book coming out by the same author soon-ish. So I don't know if it's like a sequel or what to this book, but I don't know. I'm going to give it a chance. I don't really know. I'll throw it up because I can't remember even the author's name. But yeah, I'm going to listen to that. Get my steps in. My heart rate's already rising. I need to just zone out for a minute and just listen, get my sprints in, and probably come back looking like a tomato. But thought I'd at least check in with you guys. We'll do the official TBR in a bit.
Casual affairs.
So I'm actually not as, it's hard to see in here, I'm not as red as I thought I would be, but it is about lunchtime, so I am going to start some lunch, but I thought I would check in once again, trying to get better at this. I am going to have a sweet potato. I have been eating very veggie-like with my lunches lately, but I am going to have some eggs today because Roman wants some poached eggs, so if you hear Riley eating too, that's what that noise is. But Roman wants some poached eggs, so one of my favorites is kind of doing like avocado toast, but you do a sweet potato, and then you do the poached eggs on top of it, and then you can add avocado if you want. I don't know if I'm in the mood for it today or not, but I did make some fresh, like, pico last night, so I thought about maybe having a little bit of that on the side, like a little, I don't know, it's going to be a little bit of a weird lunch, but poached eggs sound good, and sweet potato sounds good, so don't mind my messy kitchen. I'm going to get to dishes in a minute too, but I got to get the kids fed. But I wanted to jump on and talk about the Summer of Broken Rules, I think is what it's called. It's very cliche summer romance. You know, there's been nothing like jaw-dropping, nothing like original, I guess. I don't think the writing is bad, but it's just like, I feel like it's just going to be a very predictable romance. I'm predicting 2, 3 stars maybe. We will see. We'll see how I enjoy my time, because I say that because while I don't love the characters, I'm not like disliking them either, but I almost feel like they're just kind of like a copy paste of a lot of romance books at this point, you guys. So it follows this girl, and I couldn't even tell you her name. I'm listening to this, so like I've told you guys before, I have a really hard time remembering characters' names when I'm just listening to an audiobook and not physically reading it. I don't know why. But, so we're following her, and she's going on this like family vacation to this like cabin, but it's almost supposed to be what I picture is like, you know, your family cabin out by the lake. But apparently like a lot of the family, I guess, I don't know if they have cabins. I don't know. I think I missed some of this plot, you guys. But anyways, what we as the reader are supposed to kind of put together is that this girl had a sister named Claire, I believe. I do remember that. And she would go there with her sister and her mom and dad, and then like their family. And I don't think it's said yet. Maybe it has, and I just missed that. I was on the treadmill, so I was trying to like focus, but like my mind kind of wanders a little bit. But her sister has recently died, is what we're gathering. And then on top of that, her and her boyfriend just broke up. And so she refers to him as like shithead, because he broke up with her and said like it just wasn't working for him, but like he would still be her plus one. And she was like, you know, F you, like, no. So the family is being brought back to this place for her cousin's wedding, and her cousin, I guess, is supposed to look just like her sister Claire. I don't know, that whole thing is kind of weird to me. Like, she talks about how they're like twins, and I'm like, cousins, really? But so we're back. Things are hard for her and their family because her sister is not with them, and they feel like she should be there, you know, rightly so. But she's also, I feel like she's more upset about the fact that she just broke up or got broken up with versus the fact that her sister's dead, though. That's just me. But it's one of those situations, like in rom-coms, where like she's on the phone, she's pissed off and mad at shithead, and accidentally somehow manages to kick another guy who's on this ferry on their way over, but like she doesn't think he recognizes who she is because she has big sunglasses and a hat on. And it's like, I automatically was like, you're kidding me, right? Come to find out, he does know it was her, and she finally meets him, and shocker, he is the stepbrother of the groom. And she has like this little flashback moment with her sister. I promise I'm not going to spoil this whole book for you guys, but she has this like flashback moment of her sister telling her, like, talking about them getting married, and saying, her sister said something along the lines of, you're going to marry, or who's going to be the name of the guy that you're going to marry? And she's like, I don't know. And her sister's like, Steven. His name is going to be Steven. Then this guy that she has kicked on accident, and is the stepbrother of the groom, and is now like kind of becoming friends with, he goes by Wit, I believe, and he just told her, which I already seen it coming from a mile away, that his name is going to be Steven because he goes by Wit, and she hears somebody say like, that's not his, or you don't have the, or yeah, the brother, the groom, say, you don't have the same last name as me. And then she's like, huh. So later on she asked him, and he's like, you know, my last name, I think it's like Whitman or something like that. And she was like, oh, that's funny, Whitman. I'm like, you stupid. Oh, it's just stuff like that it's just like, I get it's supposed to be like witty and funny, but I'm just like, I think it's why I check out of like romances like so quick, when it's just like, I don't know, just pointless things. And I'm just like, can we just pretend, or like try to make it like at least a little bit more realistic, I guess? I don't know. Besides that, the reason that I am still like looking forward to listening to it is because they are doing a game that is like a family tradition that nobody thought they were going to do, because it was Claire, the dead sister's like favorite game, called Assassin. And it's where everybody has some type of like water projector or whatever, like water guns, whatever. You can literally use whatever you want. But the game is that it's ran by, I guess, like a couple of older people in their family, and you're given a slip of paper and you have somebody's name, and you have to assassin them with your like water gun or whatever object you use. You have to be like a certain, you know, a certain amount of feet like away from the houses and stuff, so you can't do anything inside. But I'm like, this is like the only thing that I feel like is just like kind of intriguing to me. So I'm like, I don't know, I'll follow along. I think it'll be like a little bit funny here and there and fun, but I think the idea is fun, but I just don't really think it's like executing it well. I don't know. We'll see. I'm actually close to an hour in already, so I'm kind of just like, maybe even more than that. I don't know, because I'm listening on 3 times speed, you guys. This narrator talks slow. So I'm actually listening on 3 times speed, but I'll get this book done in like 4 hours. And I think I only have like maybe 3 or 4 hours, but I've already listened to almost an hour of that. So
fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And I ain't in the mood right now. Got a couple bad bitches coming through right now. Bitch, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Blood in the sink, fuck what you think. You don't even know my name, what you know about me. You can see a thing, but I know these things, and they creep in the dark trying to pull my strings. One life, don't live too cautious. Woke up to your text, now I'm nauseous. Switch you like such trust, we lost it. 4-5 to my head, then I pop it. Thought she was down, but she wasn't. No love, bitch, you get nothing. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And I ain't in the mood right now. Got a couple bad bitches coming through right now. Bitch, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
I've been looking everywhere for you.
okay, guys, so don't mind the mess. I put my hair up because I'm cooking now, but I wanted to check in because it is midsummer. Happy midsummer. I hope you guys had a good one. I hope you guys are enjoying summertime. Sidebar, I found a sewing machine that I believe my sister gave to me like years ago. So shout out to Katie. Thank you. I'm going to try to see if it will maybe help jumpstart like me getting back into sewing. We'll see. It's been years, and in the past I've only done like blankets. I hemmed a couple of jeans back in the day, but yeah. Besides that, I'm cleaning out or getting ready to move the turtles outside for the summertime and like a little enclosure. So they are in a tub right now, right there. While I get like their water and stuff ready. But today has been pretty busy. I ended up sitting down to my makeup last night and then I just cried. I kind of had like a meltdown last night. So the good thing is with my 100 days of makeup, I have some like, I guess, get out of jail free cards because I've had some makeup looks. So I kind of have them to post. So it's kind of just now coming up to the point where I'm going to have to probably start doing looks as much as possible and try not to skip days so that I can constantly be posting one. But I finished the Summer of Broken Rules. Why can I never remember the name of that? I did listen to this one on audio. The narrator wasn't bad. I thought she was really good. I'm so torn on like a rating. I think I'm going to give it a 2 or a 3. It just, and I mean this in the nicest way, it's just not anything special. It wasn't a bad book. I think that there was funny points to it. I feel like there was, you know, some cute moments. I actually really didn't mind the characters. Like the more the book went on, I thought that they were cute together. I just felt like every reveal, every twist was so easy to just guess. Chapters and chapters, you know, ahead. So it would just, yeah. I mean, it's just your standard contemporary romance. I was actually shocked to see that I think it's a 20, I think at the end she had just said, or like the narrator said like 2023. I was actually shocked. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure she said 2023. And I was like, you know, like it's very contemporary, it's newer, so I can definitely tell it was newer, but if I had to guess, I would say it's like, I don't know, like 2020-ish. The fact that it's 2023, I was just kind of like, oh wow. Then again, I do think it kind of does remind me a little bit of Happy Place by Emily Henry, so I think a lot of people would like it. There is a lot of Taylor Swift references, so I feel like you would probably like it because of that, if you're a Swiftie. I would have liked more of like the references of like maybe the lyrics, or I've seen where some books will have like some lyrics at the beginning of a chapter, and then as the book goes on, or as the chapter goes on, something will kind of happen that reminds you of those lyrics. I would have liked something like that instead of just like every once in a while the girl would be thinking to herself and just be like, oh, that's just like the song So and So by Taylor Swift. And I'm just like, okay. I will give the author props for the Friends reference though, because I do like when Friends are referenced. The show Friends is referenced in books, and the You're My Lobster was referenced, so I thought that that was cute. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it. The writing style didn't like blow me away. I don't think it was bad, but also I was listening, so that kind of made it easier regardless. It was a pretty fast-paced book to get through listening, especially being able to listen on 3 times speed. I got through it really fast yesterday. But yeah, today, things we never got over, and I am not going to finish this today, you guys. I am listening to the audiobook right now because I've been doing a lot of things today. I made a flower crown, my first flower crown today, which was super quick little switcheroo because my phone kept shutting off on me. But yeah, I went to Hobby Lobby for a little bit, picked out some different flowers and stuff, and then came home, pieced it together. Didn't do too bad for my first like crown, and I got like this like wire, like wrapped, almost like twine-like wire. Keep its form, you know, but it's like a roll, so I'll be able to make some more flower crowns. But it's so pretty. I knew I was gonna get in there and be really indecisive, so I was so glad. Like, reading, the first thing I did this morning when I got up with my latte was like read about Midsummer and like everything we're celebrating, and it's for celebrating summertime, but also life in general and being with your loved ones. There is a few things I want to do as like a tradition for, you know, years to come. And one of them is walking barefoot in the afternoon on like the ground outside. Apparently it was a midsummer, like, I guess you could say folk tale or type of ordeal, where walking barefoot in the grass in the afternoon on midsummer was a way to stay healthy and all for your, you know, your health, and putting that manifestation out there for your health. So I thought that was kind of cool. A lot of stuff was for food and, you know, just spending time with your family. There was some games, different things like that. Very summertime vibes. I also seen something where it's like, you know, it's supposed to be the last day that you plant anything. Besides that, this morning I got some of my crystals. I have like little crystals that I use for the most part because they easily just fit on a dish, and like an area that I've been in like the most, I kind of keep it like my moon water, my sage, stuff like that. So the crystals that I chose were green, were like my little green. I can't think of like each of their names off the top of my head. I'm very new with crystals, but I am excited to keep learning more about them. But I know I have like my citrines, and I think I kept my little like rose quartz ones on there too, but I think I actually might have kept those off because they're still, or they were charged with the last full moon, so the strawberry moon. But yeah, I read citrine, topaz. I'm wearing my topaz earrings today. I also seen somewhere that green in general, so jade, and I do have little jade ones that I put out. I think it's like jade quartz that I have, and also like emerald, stuff like that is supposed to be really good for midsummer, and I'm charging them so I can bring in this like midsummer energy into, you know, my life for just more energy throughout the summer, but just kind of this like joy too that I'm feeling today. Another thing that I loved reading about for different traditions for midsummer was doing something new. And so for me today, that was making my flower crown. So for colors, I knew I was going to be really indecisive going into the store. So I was so glad that I found a little like color palette for midsummer and what each of the colors represent. And shout out to the Outdoor Apothecary, because that website is amazing. There's so many beautiful blogs about so many holidays and full moons, new moons, and yeah, it's just been incredible. I love reading their blogs so much. But I actually found this color story from them, so I was like, I'm gonna try to incorporate all these colors into this, and it ended up like super summery and fun. But going in, I was like, these are like fall colors for me, so I'm like, I'm going to end up walking out with like this full like fall like flower crown. But thankfully I pulled it in. I was like, reel it in, Allie, it's summertime, you know, this is for midsummer, so we're gonna do a summertime crown. But I love how it turned out. You have green, which I just did like different leaves and just like the greenery of it in general, which is for abundance, calming, fertility, growth, new beginnings, and prosperity. Little red roses are for anger, courage, creativity, desire, energy, fire, lust, passion, sexual love, strength, and willpower. The yellow is for communication, creativity, dream work, happiness, intelligence, learning, protection, psychic ability, the sun, and willpower. And orange, which I really had a hard time with, I kind of just had to get a little bit of like a darker yellow, but also kind of the gold I chose almost shifts like a little bit like a like an I don't know, like an orange gold kind of, so that kind of goes into play with that. But also, I mean, my hair with the orange is for adaptability, communication, courage, creativity, energy, optimism, and success. The white is for cleansing, divination, healing, innocence, peace, protection, truth. And although I started with wrapping like my little gold wire that has like little gold leaves too around it to begin with, I also took it afterwards and just added it throughout because the gold is for energy, power, prosperity, strength, success, sun, and wisdom. And I just love all those things. I love celebrating all those things. I love manifesting all of those things, setting intentions for those things. So that is definitely what I'm doing today. And I'm hoping at some point, I've been on a streak of getting like my walk in, as you guys know. So I do want to go walking tonight, and it's so hot outside. So I'm going to kind of wait till closer to sunset and maybe go for a walk. And definitely try to get like my little Zen meditation moment in then. Of course, I have to walk barefoot outside later on tonight too. But I've currently been cleaning up my kitchen a little bit because I'm going to make some cookies tonight. And seeing this thing that strawberries are really big for midsummer with like whipped cream, and I'm making these little cookies that I've been wanting to make all week, where you push like your thumbprints in and you make them like into like a mushroom. And then after you bake them, in the mushroom spot, there's like this icing you make, but also strawberry jam. So I'm like, there's the strawberry, and I hope they're good. I'm really excited for them. I'm also making wings. We're just gonna have a wings night. We're gonna get some Sonic drinks because we love Sonic drinks in the summertime. James actually just left to go get the drinks because wings are almost done. Then we gotta make the sauce and all of that. But I want to check in because I've been listening to the audiobook for Things We Never Got Over, book 2. I think I'm gonna save beach read for tomorrow. And then, I don't know, I'm probably gonna be finishing this up tomorrow too. But I do have audiobook 2, so I'm trying to like listen to it while I'm cleaning the kitchen and making dinner, and also like earlier making the flower crown, all that. And then maybe when I go walking later, I'll try to listen too. But I'm only like, I think like 5-6 chapters in, so I got a lot to do. I feel like, I don't know. It's definitely, I think, it's the vibes of enemies to lovers. I feel like just romance is just so predictable and just gets more and more predictable as I read it, that I kind of have like a really hard time. And I love making videos and participating in readathons that is like romance and reading them back to back, but I just don't know if I am that girly anymore. I don't know if I can read romance back to back anymore, because it's not that it's the worst thing ever. I just feel like I would appreciate the books a lot more if I wasn't reading them back to back, because sometimes they're just so similar. And then I also forget certain things. I'm like, wait, did that happen in that one or that one? And I start like forgetting a lot of those things. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to start like taking breaks like in between reading, but I'm currently still vlogging And I don't know if this vlog's gonna go up or that one first. Probably that one. So if you guys want to check out my last vlog, I'm going to be filming or vlogging this past week. And then I paused that vlog to film this for the weekend. And then I'm going to resume that vlog on Monday. So you'll get to see past Allie and also future Allie in that vlog. Go check it out. But I'm reading a lot of fantasy in that. So I'm thinking if I get a little like, if I start feeling a little burnt out, or maybe after I finish this, I might go into my fantasy for a little bit and then come back to beach read, which might extend my weekend a little bit. I don't know, you guys, I'm all over the place. Thought I would at least just check in, tell you guys where I was at. We have two main characters that have been introduced, Nox and Naomi. It's kind of jumping back and forth to their point of views. I don't know if anybody else's point of view will come into play, but there is a twin situation, which is not usually my favorite type of ordeal. I usually, every time I hear like twins in like a book, I'm usually just like, nope, I'm good. So there was a twin situation, and then conflict because of that twin, and thinking like kind of like that miscommunication, or like thinking like that twin was like somebody else, that type of ordeal between them, and now they're like enemies. So it's definitely like that enemies to lovers type of ordeal. But pretty much Naomi's twin sister Tina has kind of like invited her to come back to like this town that she's never been to before, and she comes there, she thinks she's like making amends with her, and then come to find out her sister kind of got her there so that she could steal her car and like just drop her kid off on her and just take off. It's been a little bit of a wild ride, and I'm only like 5-6 chapters in, but kind of on the level of being a little too wild for me, as being like not very realistic. And yeah, now there's an 11-year-old like that's coming into play with this. Now this guy who's like an asshole is now starting to be like, well, like feeling bad for her. So, you know, like he's starting to kind of like fall for her already. And also every time another guy like talks to her, like literally anybody, it kind of talks about how like his demeanor changes, and he like crosses his arms or like kind of stands like guarded next to her, and I hate that shit. But I will keep you guys posted. I will come check back in. Oh yeah, also apparently she is a runaway bride, if you wanted to know that detail too. I don't know, I haven't heard much about that yet. But again, I will check back in later and hopefully bring you guys along with me to make some cookies, maybe light a little candle for Midsummer, and chill out. There's our little bunnies.
Stop staring, be quiet.
They're like grown-ups now. They're like grown-up bunnies. Can't really see that one. Aww. So cute. Come on, let's go for a walk. Axel's going with me today.
Too many confoes. The reason I struggle because I'm fucking shy. I never wanna show my face sometimes, and I got trouble looking people in the eye. Cause when I do, I just forget off. And when I do it, I'ma feel like I'ma die. In the stairwell, cause it's my own fault, I can't give in. I have to go, stuck up on the top floor, apologize, cause my goodbyes, let's reschedule when I'm not shy. And I don't wanna show my face sometimes, and I got trouble looking people in the eye. Cause when I do, I just forget, and when I do it, I'ma feel like I'ma die. Share my story. If you hear this song, no, it's not you, it's me, I'm sorry. I don't wanna be the reason why you make this little lie. What's the point of having pointless conversations for one night? Cause I'm shy, I never wanna show my face sometimes.
trouble looking people in the eye. Cause when I do I just forget I wanna do it, I'ma feel like I'ma die. I never wanna show my face sometimes. And I got trouble looking people in the eye. Cause when I do I just forget off. And when I do it, I'ma feel like I'ma die. Sorry about that text you got, I didn't ever mean to send it. So you got me in my feelings, I so forgot.
Alright, you guys, my plans have derailed a little bit. I finished the cookies, but did not finish things we never got over. Am I DNFing it? I really tried giving it the benefit of the doubt. I made it to 90 pages, and then I was like, I think I made it like 30 pages, and I was like, this is the first time this entire year that I was like, I think this is a DNF. And if you know me, I hate DNFing a book. And I get why people DNF books. I get why, because it's just like, why waste that time on a book that you're just not enjoying? I've been there. I've wasted time on books that in the end I did not even enjoy. But I've also have read books where I'm just like, oh my god, this book is so slow and I'm not having a good time with it. And then it picks up, or there's a twist and it turns around, and then I end up giving it at least a 4-star, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I would have DNF'd that? So yeah, I have a really hard time DNFing books, and although this was a pick for this readathon, it's also a book on a list of video I've been working on since the end of last year. I've been working on it, and then I got burnt out of it, and then now I'm like at a point where I'm just like, am I gonna continue it? And then I'm like, yeah, I should, because I think I have like less than 10 books to read for it. But you guys, I don't think this would be near as bad if it was just like a 300-page contemporary romance, but this thing is 554 pages. Oh, 52. 552 pages of this. I'm not liking the characters. And please don't be mad at me if you do really like this book. Like, I feel, and that's what I also hate, like, I feel bad, like, roasting books, and I'm really not trying to roast this. I just kind of want to let you guys know where my headspace is at with it, because, like, I'm not enjoying, like, the setup, the everything. It has some of my least favorite tropes so far. One being twins. I hate that so much. I get that these are supposed to be like enemies to lovers, and while I absolutely love that trope, I love enemies to lovers, I'm not liking these. The main girl, she's not bad, but she also, like, I'm like, girl, what are you? Are you like this like confident boss woman, or are you just kind of like this person that's just like not say much, not be that outspoken? Like, I feel like it depends on what chapter you're on. It's like a complete different girl. So I'm like, I feel like it's not even really a character at this point. Like, I just keep thinking I'm reading about two different people, and I'm not enjoying it. And then just the whole like love triangle situation going on with brothers, I don't like it. I don't like it. And I don't like either one of the brothers at all. One of them is like, almost like, and the girl is actually seeing through it too. Like, she's questioning, like, is he just being nice to me because he likes me like that? Or is he actually trying to just be a good person and help me out? Which I'm already like, red flags. And then the other one is just a straight up douchebag, which I believe is who she is going to fall for. But it's like, he's treated her like shit. He's belittled her. He has, I mean, my mind is just like blown on this character. And then like anytime another man or anybody wants to like talk to her, he, like his stance, like she goes into detail about him standing between them with like his arms like crossed or whatever. And it's just like stuff like that. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't like the way I've read books where, you know, the guy can sometimes be like overprotective or like whatever, and it's done in a good way, where with this one it's just rubbing me the wrong way. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. So I'm not gonna officially say it's a DNF, but I am done with it, at least for this video, because I just got this from my library. I have like almost 20 days left of it, so I'm gonna set it aside and maybe I will finish it by next month before I have to take it back. I don't know. I'm just setting it aside for now. I need a break. But I read like 30 pages, was already questioning it, and I told myself, no, let's just push through, and I made it to 90 pages, and I told myself it was the end of a chapter, and I was like, I'm still not enjoying this. I'm putting it down, and I jumped back into my fantasy reads from my previous vlog. So I need to go back to a little bit of fantasy, but before this readathon is over, I know that I want to at least give Beach Read a benefit of the doubt, so I'm going to be starting this one today, and I will let you guys know what I think. I think I'm going to get like a little refresher or whatever they're called from Starbucks. I wanted to get the drink that is mentioned for this readathon, but for some reason, I think our Starbucks is like out of one of the ingredients, so I don't think it's gonna really like pull together. So I think I'm just gonna get like one of their just regular ones. I think the strawberry acai berry lemonade kind of sounds good, so I think I'm going to get one of those and start on Beach Read, and I will let you guys know what I think. I'm upset about that one. I just don't really know how I feel about it right now. And while maybe I'm coming out of that like being totally against DNFing and then just being like, whatever, if you're not enjoying a book, don't waste your time on it, because I feel like I think it depends on the type of book. I feel like maybe a horror book or a thriller would be harder for me to DNF, but like since this is romance, and even thinking about like the good outcomes that are probably going to happen in this book, it doesn't excite me. It doesn't make me like want to continue reading. So I don't know. It might just be a flat out DNF, and hopefully it doesn't ruin the plans that I had with the other video. But just thinking about reading what's left of this, I just don't think it's for me.
But now you're gone again. I'll take all your issues, you can have my friends. I don't miss seeing I miss you on my phone screen. Now I save the tissues that you bought me from a nosebleeds. I don't think about you, but it's all sweet. Gone again. I'll take all your issues.
Alright, don't mind my appearance right now. It has been super, super hot. I've been going through it the last few days. We've had like a heat wave, and then on top of that, like our AC went out and we had to have somebody out. It's been an ordeal. So I never wrapped up some of my vlogs because I've just been miserable, and it's like about my time of the month, so I'm really feeling it. But I wanted to wrap up this vlog because I was able to finish Beach Read the other day, and I actually really liked this one. I think I would give it 5. I feel like as a contemporary romance, this would probably stand at 3 or 4 for a lot of people, and while I would agree with that, I think just like the giddiness I felt while reading this reminded me so much of when I read like Allie Hazelwood and I get really excited. I really like the characters. It's that type of vibe. So I feel like typically a storyline like this one would probably only be like a 3 or 4 for me. But I'm giving it a 5 because although the storyline and plot, Beach Read, if you don't know, I mean, this is a book that has blown up on Book Talk, and I feel like BookTube in general as well, and is probably one of her like most popular books. And I've actually have had this recommended to me. Some of my favorite like YouTubers who vlog romance, this is like their favorite, Emily Henry, and I have to agree. I think this is my favorite. I think this one beats Book Lovers for me as well. And I don't know. I am always so torn with her because I feel like now I'm starting to feel like her style for me is going to be a little bit hit or miss. So although I do see myself reading her future books, and I need to read People We Meet on Vacation. I think that's what it's called, because I do have that checked out from my library in the other room. So I have that one, and I have a couple other summer romance, including, I don't know if this is really summer, but the new Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. So I will be coming back and doing like a summer romance vlog soon. I might even like spread it out a little bit just so that it's like another like in-between vlog, because it does kind of get a little bit tiring reading romance for me back to back to back. But yeah, I have that one, and then I have the other Emily Henry, and then I also picked up, I forgot I got this one too, Every Summer After, and I've heard good things about this as well. So I will come back and hopefully film that soon, read that soon, because I'm itching to pick up the Ali Hazelwood. But yeah, I would give Beach Read a 5. I really like these characters. This girl who has grown up having like the picture perfect life. Everything starts crumbling down when her dad passes away, and it is revealed that he kind of had like a second life going in his hometown. So the picture perfect life that she would see with her mom and her dad and her, he also had that second life with the other woman in his like hometown, and now that he's passed, he's given her this like secret lake house that he owns, where he would go and stay with the other woman. And now, since she is a author who is really struggling to get any like creativity flowing when it comes to her writing, but also like she's kind of at this point broke, doesn't really have a lot of choices, is kind of like forced to go back to what her father has given her and go to the lake house and stay there because it is free to stay there, besides utilities and so on and so forth. While she's there, she's meeting a lot of the people in the area, and also her grumpy neighbor next door, who ends up being someone from her past. So it does have that trope there. This isn't like a second chance, because if you guys have followed along with me, I think that was something that really held me back from really liking Happy Place by Emily Henry, was the second chance romance, which I'm not a fan of that. But I do think that this is cute, and it kind of reminded me of Ali Hazelwood with, pretty sure it was Love on the Brain. I think Love on the Brain was the one, I get them kind of mixed up, but I think Love on the Brain was the one where they had known each other in the past, enemies to lovers, and you know, so they never dated in the past, and so that's what always makes it like okay for me. I don't care if it's somebody from the past, but if they've already tried this relationship and it didn't work out, I don't really like the second chance. It's just not for me. So I appreciate that this one was not that, and I liked the tropes that did go on here. I felt like it was kind of just grumpy and grumpy and definitely enemies to lovers, and I just feel like their banter and the wittiness of things was really cute. And yeah, I just really liked how the story unraveled. I felt like the miscommunication was not bad. Like, I feel like there wasn't a lot of it, if there was any. And I feel like if there was things that you're kind of like guessing and kind of thinking like, oh, it was probably this, why doesn't she see this? Or, you know, that type of miscommunication, I don't mind, because it's not like the character is constantly trying to be like, I'm trying to think of what book that was, but it was like where the girl was just like, oh, you hated me so much. Oh, you hated me. You hated me. And then he's constantly like trying to like tell her like, no, that wasn't the way it was. And then all of a sudden they get interrupted by something. And it happens repeatedly to where it's like that miscommunication drives me insane. I'm like, just spit it out. Tell her you've always loved her. But anyways, yeah. This is my favorite from Emily Henry so far. I just want to wrap up this vlog because I don't even know where I really left off besides telling you guys I was going to be reading Beach Read. And yeah, it was supposed to just be a weekend vlog, and it got extended because after reading this, everything just like literally went to hell because it was so hot. If you are wondering, never went back to things we never got over. I knew I wasn't going to be able to finish this for the like weekend readathon to begin with, just because my headspace wasn't there. I had to jump to something else, and I finished that book, and then I went into beach read and finished it for the readathon. But this one I never went back to since I haven't felt the need to pick it back up. I am at chapter 9. I really don't know, you guys. I'm gonna keep it until it's time for me to take it back to my library and just see if, I don't know, maybe one day I'll get like a wild hair and say, I don't really care what I read today, and I'll pick it up and try reading it. Maybe I will try to pick it back up and read a little bit here and there to kind of see if I start falling more into like the story. Also, like I said, I have some other picks for another like rom-com, contemporary romance, that type of vibe video. So maybe I will try to throw it in with them and then maybe finish it. I don't know. I'm not officially DNFing it, but if I do actually DNF it, I will try to let you guys know in a vlog or something. But yeah, as of right now, I'm going to try to give it a chance. Maybe I'm just not in the best headspace for it right now. I don't know. But I have other books I'm reading. I have the Horror-a-thon this coming weekend, and I'm still reading fantasy. So yeah, check out my last video for the fantasy, like my last vlog, which was like the fantasy reads, because that's what I'm currently reading as well. And then stay tuned, because one of my next vlogs is going to be the Horror-a-thon for June. You guys are probably going to see it in July or August, because that's usually the way it goes. But thank you guys so much for watching this vlog. I appreciate it, and I hope that you guys are staying cool this summer, because it is fucking hot. But yeah, love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, man, that one's like very territorial though.
Oh, here
comes back with my baby. He's so
Now I
little.
save the tissues that you bought me from a nosebleed. I don't think about you, but it's don't sleep. Summer days, don't miss your taste. Out in the crawl space, wanna break, still see your face. I just don't wanna be a missing case. Walking in place, keep up with my pace. Stay awake, that's what they all say.
I'm shot, really hard. What you wanna scream about? Iced out, made it fall, 'cause you wanna bite back. Know you got it in me, but my comments ain't inside that.
What you wanna talk about?
What you tryna get at?
Big girl on the boat, miss my RT. Hit 'em all like a joke, man, it's all I fear. Catch 'em all, fuck 'em all, it's a bright idea. Never heard a ringtone, but now you're gone again. I'll take all your issues, you can have my friends. I don't miss seeing them, miss you on my phone screen. Now